Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would share with you guys what I have planned for my channel in 2023. Let's get into it. I have been making videos here on YouTube since sometime in 2018, if memory serves, so it's been a bit. And I have been making content about tarot and witchy stuff and self-worth and all of that kind of thing that entire time. I am having a blast on YouTube still today, and I want to continue that momentum as we go into 2023. But I wanted to take a few minutes to just chat with you guys about what I have planned for 2023, both here on the channel and also in the Unicorn Fam channel membership, so that you know what's coming up and can kind of look forward to the changes that are coming, the things I'm adding, and how things are going to go. So I wanted to do a little bit of a recap of some of the things I've been doing on this channel that seem to be things you guys really enjoy. I have been doing anti-hauls on this channel for, gosh, I don't know how long. I should have looked that up before I made this video, but I've been doing anti-hauls for a long time. Anti-hauls began as a way for me to share with you the things that I have talked myself out of purchasing, especially when I've been really like in the mood or in the space where I might have had a little bit of FOMO, or maybe have tended to want to impulse buy something, and instead I've looked at the things that I have, the tarot and oracle decks I have, and I've said, you know what, I don't need this because I have that. And it's a really helpful way for me to stay mindful about the collection that I have, because I have quite a few decks. And it's also a way for me to bring to the table a discussion about how we maybe don't have to get every new thing that comes out. We can if we want to, but if we decide we want to keep things fairly curated, then oftentimes looking at what you have in comparison to something that's coming out is a great way to sort of maybe curb or take the edge off of that like hunger to always have something new. And so I really enjoy the anti-hauls as a way to have that conversation and to sort of bring you into my own internal processes with that. So that is definitely continuing. Another series that you guys have really seemed to enjoy are my hot takes on upcoming releases. That's not going anywhere. I've been really enjoying that, and I've been doing the hot takes series since sometime in mid-2021, I think. And I don't think that's going anywhere anytime soon, so I will continue to do those monthly here on the channel going into 2023. Typically, the way a hot takes video works is that about 3 to 5 days or so before I'm going to film that video, I ask you all what decks you'd like to see me cover in the series, and then based on the comments I get on that community tab post, I will curate a list of decks and I will share them with all of you and give you my sort of first impressions opinions on their sales page. And these are usually decks that are in pre-order status somewhere or are funding on Kickstarter or something, and they're coming out really soon, or they're, you know, funding now or whatever. So you get to see things that are really new or not quite yet out, and we talk about those. So it's a really fun series. Definitely continuing that in 2023. There is no way you will get me to part with my monthly show and tells. These are the videos where I share with you all the things I've been up to, the makeup I've been playing with, the tarot and oracle decks I've been using. It's a really fun video for me to make, and it's also a great way for me to sort of memory keep as well. It's really fun to be able to look back on those videos and see what I was up to on some random month in some previous year. So I really get a lot of benefit out of those personally, and you guys seem to enjoy them too. To me, that's what YouTube felt like. The reason I called it show and tell, I think I did used to call it my monthly favorites, but I changed it to show and tell because that's what YouTube feels like to me. It feels like I get to sit here and just show and tell about my stuff and the things I'm into, and it's what makes YouTube fun for me to do. So I really love the show and tells. So those are not going anywhere. I could see myself at some point changing the format of them slightly, but I have no plans to do that right now because the format I'm using is working for me and I really think they're fun. So that's staying. There are a few other types of videos that I also really enjoy making regularly, and I plan to continue making them as the urge arises. Say Yes to the Deck is a really fun series where I bring you guys along with me while I choose what deck I'm going to buy. It's another sort of type of video I like to make to show you the process of sort of mindfully choosing to buy a deck and kind of going through the process of comparing it against what I have, making sure I'm picking something that I think I'm really going to use and enjoy and be excited about. So that's a really fun series. I would also like to in 2023 do some more of the Say Yes to the Deck videos where we bring somebody else on and Peggy and I help them pick the deck that they want to buy. We did a few of those this year and a few the previous year, and those were a lot of fun. I do have a form where you can sign up if you want to be on the list to be on one of those episodes, but I have no guarantees about when we're going to do the next one, so it might be quite a while. But if you are interested, I will link that down below so you can sign up if you want to be on a future episode of helping you say yes to the deck. But that is a really, really fun video that I also like to make, and it's fun because I get to do it with Peggy, which is always a blast. Also, I have occasionally changed the format of Say Yes to the Deck. We did a really fun episode this year where I actually had the Unicorn Fam channel members suggest like a short list, or kind of help me come up with a short list of decks. And then from those, Peggy actually picked for me what deck I was going to buy. So that was a lot of fun. That's actually how I ended up. You know what? I won't spoil it for you. I'll just link it up in the cards so you can check it out. Another type of video I really like to make are my Mass Market Madness videos. These are videos that I like to do occasionally where I highlight some really awesome mass market affordable tarot decks. This is really great, I think, as a series to have here on the channel, because I just really like having the opportunity to highlight affordable decks, especially because there are some real gems in the mass market. And I think sometimes we kind of get the idea that independent means better. And I don't think that's necessarily the case. Independent just means independent. Mass market just means mass market. They're created differently. The process around creating them is differently, but it doesn't inherently make one better than the other. Independent decks do tend to be more expensive because the creators who are making those decks have less purchasing power and are usually printing smaller print runs, but it doesn't automatically mean that they are higher quality, etc. They often are, because I think a lot of deck creators who make independent decks get excited about all the production quality stuff, and so they tend to go all out with that sort of thing, but that's not always the case. And I guess my point here in this bit of a ramble is that I like to highlight and show off mass market or affordable decks also, because there are some really, really good, unique ones, and sometimes they slip under the radar, and I want to be like, no, look at this. This is amazing. So I'm definitely going to continue to do those as the urge arises. I'm also going to continue to do my this or that deck declutters. It is a regular part of my practice because I receive decks for review, because I do accumulate a lot of decks, and because I can get overwhelmed when my collection gets what to me begins to feel a little out of control. This or that declutters help me to continue to refine my collection as a sort of organic, ongoing basis. But if you've never seen one of those videos, this or that declutter is where I basically sort of pair up decks that I feel like might be doing kind of the same job for me in my collection, and I decide if I'm going to keep both of them or only one of them or neither of them. And it's a really fun way for me to bring you into that process as well as I continue to sort of curate and refine my personal collection of decks over time. I am of course going to continue to do deck walkthroughs. I do really enjoy those. I have been doing them a little less frequently than I used to, but also because I want, when I sit down with a deck, to really spend the time to go through every single card with you guys, that it's going to be something that is going to offer something both to you and to me when I'm recording the video. And that may seem a little strange, but I want to make sure that it feels meaty and substantial, because that's what I like about doing deck walkthroughs. I sort of got into a place where I felt like it started to feel a little too samey for me, and so I started to change it up a little bit. You may have noticed that towards the end of this year, I actually began doing walkthroughs of decks I've had a very long time that I haven't previously walked through. Most recently, I did a walkthrough of the Fountain Tarot, but last month I did a walkthrough of the Zombie Tarot. Both of these decks I've had for a long, long time. I also previously did a walkthrough of the Textured Tarot, and I'm going to continue to try to pull out one of these decks that I have had a long time but just have never made a dedicated video about, because those are really great. I get to give you not only a card-by-card analysis of that deck, but I also get to share with you some of my thoughts and experiences having worked with a deck over a longer period of time. And those are really fun to do. Now, I'm still going to do first impressions walkthroughs and prototype reviews and things like that, because I think those are super fun, but I just want to have that meatier stuff also. Like, I can only go so deep if I've just received a deck. And so it's kind of fun to be able to do both. There have been decks that I've gotten that are brand new to me that have ended up being really lengthy, meaty, substantial, deep dive walkthroughs, and those have been really exciting for me to make, but they're not always that way. And so I want to balance it out a little bit. And so I'm going to continue to try to strive for that balance in 2023. Another thing that I started, I think it was this year, it might have been like in 2021, 2021, I can't remember, was a occasional live stream where I come on and we do a thing I call troubleshooting the tarot, where if you are trying to learn how to read the tarot, you can bring any questions you have, like questions about reading professionally, questions about reading for yourself, questions about how to interpret this card versus that card, sticking points or trouble spots. I like to think of it as troubleshooting because when we start to learn a new skill, we start to learn how to read the tarot, or we start working with Oracle or whatnot, we bump up against these like little issues, these hiccups that become sticking points in our practice. And so I like to use troubleshooting the tarot as a way for us to sort of talk about that stuff and maybe get over some of those little hurdles that come up when we're learning. It's a really fun series, and I definitely plan to continue doing those live streams occasionally in 2023 as well. And of course, I will still do occasional video responses or VRs to other people in the community when an interesting one pops up that I want to do. Historically, I tend to do these kind of slow, so the video comes out and I make my response like a long time later. But when one catches my attention, I will definitely do some of those. Those tend to be a lot of fun, and I will probably create some of my own as well. But now let's talk about a few new things I want to experiment with and do with you guys in 2023. In January, I'm kicking off a brand new video series that I'm calling The Magic of Divination, and I have so much to say about this, so buckle up. I feel like one of the things that I really got to experience when I was new to tarot and new to witchy stuff and new to all of this, stuff, when I was new to it all seemed so magical and otherworldly. And there was this reverence for the practice of tarot that went beyond the mundane. There was a sense of doing something extraordinary. And I am a strong believer that anybody can pick up the tarot and work with the tarot. And in fact, when it was that otherworldly, when it did feel extraordinary, I actually sort of felt like it wouldn't be for me. And I looked at that time to take the magic away. I wanted it to feel very concrete and very earthy and very grounded and psychological. And one of the things that came up actually in October's 3 Fat Readers live stream that I did with Danny and Dustin, one of the things that came up during our conversation that month was about the idea that there's been sort of a trend for a long time in tarot circles and divination circles, oracle readers, tarot readers, to really sort of approach the tarot from a psychological or a psycho-spiritual kind of way, like to look at it as a tool for personal development and personal growth and self-worth. And I'm obviously very passionate about using the tarot in that way. But I feel like somewhere along the way, we sort of have lost sight of or kind of gotten pretty far removed from some of the magic of working with tarot and working with oracle, some of the woo. And I want to sort of bring the woo back in a little bit. So I am doing this new series called The Magic of Divination to start talking about showing, playing with the woo side of working with divination, whether it be casting or cards or whatever. I have some topics planned. I already have my January video planned. I haven't made it yet, but I have it planned. But we're going to start talking about some of the woo-ish side of working with cards, of doing divination. And I'm kind of excited about it because I feel like the popular topics these days are around just really staying grounded in the present with our readings. And I realized that there are some people today who are finding tarot or who are finding oracle for the first time, and they're not being exposed to any of that magic. And it made me a little sad because as much as I wanted it to feel concrete when I was new, there was something really special about also connecting to that magical side of it all. And I still use and feel that magic in my practice today. It's just all very integrated with all these other concrete things. And I want to bring the magic back. So that's the plan. I want to do a series called The Magic of Divination. So I don't know if there'll be a video every single month, but there will be a video regularly covering different topics around the woo stuff, letting me get my woo on. We're going to get our woo on a little bit. So for those of you who are into the woo or who are curious about the woo, come along with me. That's going to be a lot of fun. I also would like to make some Let's Play videos. So in this sort of idea, I'd like to do some fun things with tarot where we just kind of cut loose and do something playful. So watch for that also coming in 2023. And finally, this year, I actually tested out a new video idea with my members called Recent Deck Roundups, and I've decided to take that video public for 2023. So in 2023, I will be sharing with you whenever I have brought in several things and I have several things to talk about. I'm going to sit down, show you all the new stuff that's come in and talk about it. So this will be for everybody now rather than just for members. I'm kind of just bringing back hauls. I guess that's what it is. It's kind of like bringing back hauls. They'll just be sort of occasional. When I have a few things to talk about at once, I'll come on camera and share those things with you and it'll be a lot of fun. Future me here with Peggy. I forgot one of the most exciting things we're adding next year. What are we adding next year to the channel?
What did we say? Sunday shenanigans.
Sunday shenanigans. So once a month or so. I'm trying to squish your head apparently.
Okay, now
I was trying to hug you. What is this? What are we doing?
I don't know. I had my glasses on. You tried to break my face.
So roughly once a month, we're going to come on for a live stream.
For a live chat.
Just a casual hangout.
On Sundays. That's why we named it
Community
Sunday
chat and shenanigans because Peggy will be there. Because
yeah, we're going to come on for just a general.
Peggy needs to let her freak out every once in a while. Yeah. Why do you seem taller than me? You're not taller than me. That's better. I was slouching.
Honey, you're only half an inch taller than me.
It counts.
Half an inch.
It counts.
Half an inch.
Yeah. We're going to argue on the internet every once a month or so on Sundays. What is this?
It's because of the way you're holding your camera, silly. Oh my God, you on your tiptoes.
Okay. Anyways, we
so
wanted to tell you before we forgot. But yeah, so watch for that. That's starting in January.
That's new. Yeah, because we're scheduled, because we keep wanting to come on for lives, and then one thing leads to another, and we've decided to just actually start scheduling them so we actually will show up.
So we'll see you there. And okay, back to the rest of my video. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Those are all of the plans I have for now for 2023 for my channel. I do tend to create on the fly, so there will be other things peppered in around there that will come and weave their way into my content plans. But I wanted you to have an idea of what I have planned for the year ahead when it comes to this public part of my channel. For members, so if you don't know, I have a channel membership here. I call it the Unicorn Fam. We have 3 tiers. We have the supportive unicorn tier. We have the magical unicorn tier, which has everything the supportive unicorn tier has, plus magical unicorn tier stuff. And then we have the badass unicorn tier, which is the top tier in my channel membership. In 2023, things are shifting a little bit in the membership, but for the most part, they're staying relatively the same. I just want to make sure to tell you guys what's coming up in membership for the year ahead so that you can plan for that if you're already a member or are thinking of becoming a member. So I'm just going to quickly cover everything that I am planning for the membership for the year ahead. So my most accessible tier is the supportive unicorn tier of membership. And in that tier, you get access to our special custom emojis. I think we're going to have a new one soon, actually. We need to vote on that soon. But we have custom emojis for members. You get the little unicorn horn next to your name. And when you show up in live chats, that unicorn horn will change color the longer that you are a member. So you start out with a red unicorn horn and you work your way all the way through the rainbow. And then special things happen after that. So that is what happens with the little badges that you get next to your name. And then you also get special emojis you can use in live streams and in comments and things like that, which is a lot of fun. You also get access to our Unicorn Fam Facebook group where we can have members only conversations, chat with each other. People can share the things that they're working on or the latest video they made. It's a great way to connect with a smaller part of the community. If you want that smaller community feel, it's a great way to find that. Also, for supportive unicorns and all the tiers above that, we have our Unicorn Fam book club. So I've just put out a poll to the current members to find out if we're going to do only fiction or fiction and nonfiction. I think we're probably going to do both. What we did in 2022 is every 2 months we were reading either a fiction or a nonfiction book that was voted on by the membership, and we would alternate. So we would do fiction and then nonfiction, back, forth, back, forth. And on the second month, so for example, in November, December, we're reading The Night Circus. So on near the end of the second month of our 2-month time with the book, I host a live stream open to all members and we chat about it. It's kind of just a casual hangout. We chit chat about all kinds of things, but we also cover the book that we read. So it's a fun, casual way to connect and get some books read. So I am going to be continuing that in 2023. Pretty sure we're still going to be alternating fiction and nonfiction. So that is it for the supportive unicorn tier. For the magical unicorn tier, which is the next one up, I also do an exclusive video every single month on something magical, witchy, tarot related. So something along those lines. In 2022, some of the videos that I did for magical unicorns were things like coming along with me while I blessed and consecrated and created a book of shadows for myself, or where I did a witch's ball spell to help me with my deck creation project. Also, in the magical unicorn tier and up, through 2023, as my deck continues to unfold, I am occasionally showing some special exclusive behind the scenes peeks at what's going on with the deck, including sometimes asking for some advice or what you guys think of a particular card. And that's been a lot of fun so far as we've just begun the journey. So in the Magical Unicorn tier and up, that is where I tend to show little bits of behind the scenes deck progress. This is in addition to the newsletter where I am also talking about the major updates for the Unicorn's Journey Tarot as it unfolds. So that's a lot of fun. We do that in the Magical Unicorn tier. But probably the most popular thing in the Magical Unicorn tier is that once a month I do a live stream where I do member readings, and anybody who has requested a reading on the post that I put up a few days in advance gets a reading in that live stream. I tend to be on for anywhere from 3 to 5 hours at a time, and we hang out and I do readings. It's a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy it. It's a great way to connect and also a great way to just see how somebody reads the tarot in real time. So I really enjoy that feature that we have in the Magical Unicorn tier. What's really shifting the most in 2023 is the Badass Unicorn tier. So historically, that has been our self-worth tier. So that's where Peggy and I will do self-worth discussions. We host a monthly self-worth Saturday live stream, and that is continuing in 2023. But starting in January, Self-Worth Saturday is going to have a structure. So it was requested again and again and again that the membership, the Badass Unicorn tier folks work through my book, The Self-Worth Path. And that is what we're going to be doing starting in January. So the membership at the Badass Unicorn tier and I are going to be reading and going through the Self-Worth Path chapter by chapter, collectively as a group. And each month when we get together for Self-Worth Saturday, we're going to be discussing that section of the book. We're going to take our time. So most months we'll probably go through maybe a chapter or less. So it's going to take us some time to go through, and it's probably going to extend past 2023. So there are 21 chapters or steps along the Self-Worth Path, which is, by the way, loosely inspired by the major arcana of the tarot, just saying. Anyway, we are going to be going through probably about a chapter or a step per month, but we may actually slow some of them down because some of them are a little bit more hefty than others. And then we'll work on that chapter as a group that month, and then we'll come together for Self-Worth Saturday and we'll discuss our sticking points. We'll talk about things that come up. We'll have topics that are related to the work that we're doing in the book. So Self-Worth Saturday is going to have a theme and sort of be structured as we move into 2023, which is not to say that you can't jump in at any point. It just means that the topics we'll be discussing every month will be connected to something that's covered in the book. There's a lot of topics and areas that we're going to be getting into. So it's going to be a journey for sure, and one that I'm excited to take with you guys. So we'll be revisiting this in the Badass Unicorn tier next year in the membership, and we're all pretty excited to be doing that. I almost forgot. I'm also going to be beginning to do spread walkthroughs in 2023. That is the other new thing I'm going to be doing. I did this once before. Well, I've probably done it multiple times before, but kind of more formally. I did it when I did a collaboration with Dawn Michelle at Boho Tarot when we talked about the Celtic Cross spread. It was a lot of fun to do that, and I want to do more of these practice type things on the channel, so I will be choosing a spread and walking you through it. Just like we would walk through a tarot deck, we'll walk through a tarot spread, and I want to do that pretty regularly in 2023. We'll see how the schedule works out, but that is my plan for right now. I definitely want to have some of those. I don't know how frequent yet, but I'm really excited to add that to the content rotation. So that is it. That is everything coming that I currently have planned, that I'm thinking about and that I'm working towards for 2023 here on the channel. In addition to content, of course, I'm also continuing to make progress with Francesca on the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. As always, if you want to see my deck come to life, be sure to subscribe to the newsletter. I'm not doing the newsletter really crazy frequently, but that is where the major updates will be happening. So if you want to stay in the loop on everything Unicorn's Journey Tarot, make sure you sign up. I will have a link for that in the description box down below. As always, thank you all so much for all of your support of this channel over the past 5 years. I have been really enjoying making content. I cannot wait to see it continue to evolve and grow. I love this space. This is very much my happy place, and I'm very protective over it, and I want to make sure that it stays a happy, positive, safe place for everybody here. So thank you so much for coming and for being a part of it, and also for just sharing so much. You guys are so generous with your comments and the ways you help each other. It really just completely makes my day when I see somebody ask a question and somebody else answer it, and like just seeing that you guys have each other's back so that you keep each other informed of things. It's incredible. It feels so good. And I get to see all of that and be a part of it somehow. And I'm so grateful and humbled by it. You just have no idea. This is truly the place that I enjoy hanging out on the internet. Like, this is my home on the internet, and it means so much that you guys share it with me. So thank you so much. And stay tuned, because next month I'm going to finally do an updated collection series. So I'm going to try to get it all done for December, so you will get my entire collection, all of my decks, revealed next month. Thank you all so, so much, you guys, for hanging out. I can't wait to keep making more videos with you guys, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye!